Good morning, everyone. Let us all stand for the opening prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us all today in this important endeavor. We ask that you bestow your guidance and blessing upon each attendee. May we honor one another in your keeping all the time. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for the wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer worthy. Amen.
Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Rolando Abion, representative from the Rinconada Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, sir, for joining with us. Back Secretariat, please kindly conduct the roll call and record attendance to determine if we have the quorum.
Yes, good morning everyone. For today's attendance of opening and reading of bids, we have Engineer Philip Salvadora, our back vice chairperson,
Present.
Ma'am Maria Corazon Bruca, our regular back member, Engineer Joanna Marie Manaog, Engineer Sheila Marie Plastino, our provisional back member, Engineer Albert Alvarez, our end user representative, we have Engineer Rayjan Remoroso. For our TWG head member, TWG head, Engineer Diana Ross Gonzalez, Engineer Mark Anthony Bayos, Engineer Rayjan Remoroso, Engineer Christine Gia Piñon, Engineer Gia Lynn Alba, TWG member. For our back secretariat, yours truly, Elizabeth Olieres, back sec member. Ma'am Dolores Casiao, Engineer Froilan S. Herno. For our observer, from Rinconada Iriga Chamber of Commerce Incorporated, the President, Sir Rolando Abion. That's all for our attendance.
Based on the attendance, we have the quorum to conduct business today. And so therefore, I now call this opening of bid to order at exactly 10:15. Welcome to the opening of bids today, June 1, 2026, here at Procurement Office, DPWH Camarines Sur DEO. For the procurement of fuel, oil, and lubricants for service vehicles and equipment assigned in this office, DPWH Camarines Sur DEO, Santa Teresita, Baao, Camarines Sur. With the approved budget for the contract of 2,236,782 and 59 centavos. TWG, you may now open the bid box for preliminary examination and manual individual evaluation of the technical proposal submitted by the bidders.
Claims and claims.
Good morning, everyone. We have loan bidder for contract ID 26GF-N01, namely Andalis Fuel Shop. The said bidder passed the technical documents, which includes letter A, valid Belgium certificate of registration, platinum membership. Letter B, statement of all prospective bidders of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. Letter C, statement of the bidder, single largest completed contracts, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid. Letter D, original copy of bid security in the prescribed format. Letter E, for conformity with the technical specification, would include production delivery schedule, manpower requirements. Letter F, original duly signed omnibus swarm statements, OSS, in accordance with section 54.3 of this IIR of RA 12009. Letter G, sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. Letter H, prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. All sets of documents for technical are properly book-bounded, and all pages are numbered paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin. Each page signed by the bidder below page number and the total number of which is indicated in the covering page and signed by the duly authorized representative. The checklist of the technical documents is also attached and included as the first page of the book bounding and with ear tabbing label for each checklist. The overall remarks for the technical documents submitted by the bidders are pass or complying.
DWG, you may now proceed to the preliminary examination of the second envelope or the financial proposal submitted by the loan bidder who passed or complied the preliminary examination of the first envelope or the technical proposal.
The said bidder also passed the financial documents, which includes original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule in accordance with ITB Clause 13.1. All sets of documents for financial are properly book-bounded and all pages are numbered paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin. Each page signed by the bidder below page number and the total number of which is indicated in the covering page and signed by the duly authorized representative. The checklist of the financial documents is also attached and includes as the first page of the book bounding and ear tabbing label for each checklist. The overall remarks for financial documents submitted by the bidder are pass or complying.
Time check is 10:39. Name of bidder, Andalis Fuel Shop. Form of bid security is BSD. May 28, 2026 at the municipality of Baao. Bid amount 2,061,400 flat. Bid amount 2,061,400 flat.
The variance is 175,382 pesos and 59 centavos.
Contract duration is 90 calendar days. We have loan bidder for this contract with the offered bid amounting to 2,061,400 pesos flat, subject for further evaluation and post-qualification. There being no remaining topics for discussion, the meeting is adjourned at exactly 10:41 a.m. Thank you.
Pwede na yung continue. Cut na lang. Diretso to.
everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant comfort and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for the wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer worthily. Amen.
Back Secretariat, please conduct the roll call and record attendance to determine if we have the quorum.
Okay, good morning. Here is the attendance for our pre-bid conference. Engineer Philip Salvadora, Black
Present.
Vice Chairperson. Engineer Joanna Marie Manao, regular back member. Ma'am Maria Corazon Bruca. Engineer Sheila Marie Casino. Our provisional back member, we have Engineer Nelbert Alvarez. And user representative, we have Engineer Joe Justin Peter Pletado. For our TWG head, we have Engineer Diana Rose Gonzalez. Engineer Gialine Alba. Engineer Mark Anthony Payos. Engineer Ray Chandra Moroso. Engineer Valen Francis Villarreal. Engineer Christine G. Piñon. For our back secretariat, yours truly, Elizabeth Olieres, back secretariat member. Ma'am Dolores B. Casiao, and Engineer Froilan Verno, our back secretariat member. That's all for the attendance.
Based on the attendance, we have the quorum to conduct business today. And so therefore, I now call this pre-bid conference to order at exactly 11:05. Welcome to the pre-bid conference today, June 1, 2026, here at Procurement Office, DPWH Camarines Sur DEO, for contract ID number 25 FN0059, maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructure facilities, flood control and drainage system, structures and related facilities, repair or maintenance of Antipolo River Revetment 3, location San Miguel, Nabua, Camarines Sur. For the TWG team headed by Engineer Gonzalez, and to the end user representative, you may now discuss the contract data.
For contract ID number 25FN00059, with a contract name, maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructure facilities, flood control and drainage system structures and related facilities, repair, maintenance of Antipolo River Revetment 3, with the location of San Miguel, Nabua, Camarines Sur. Scope of works, maintenance, repair, and rehabilitation of infrastructures facilities. Approved budget for the contract is 2 million. Contract duration, 51 calendar days. Size range, small b. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000.
Please discuss the requirements of the bidding documents.
special condition of contract for contract ID number 25FN0059. In case of semi-permanent structures such as buildings of types 1, 2, and 3 as classified under the National Building Code of the Philippines, concrete or asphalt roads, concrete river control, drainage, irrigation line canals, river landing, deep wells, rock causeway, pedestrian overpass, and other similar semi-permanent structures, 5 years. Eligibility requirements for contract ID number 25FN059. The scope of works are repair and maintenance of Antipolo River Revetment 3. Major categories of work of the contract to be procured: FC, SPS, flood control, construction, slope protection using structural measures, example revetment, retaining structures, rock netting, concrete crit, shotcrete, MEC wall, gabions, riprap, and masonry. Unit of measure, linear meters. Dimension 6.5. Similar major categories of work: RCSPS, roads, construction of slope protection using structural measures. Revetment, example revetment, retaining structures, rock netting, concrete crit, shotcrete, MEC wall, gabions, riprap, and masonry. FCBPS, flood control, construction, bank protection structure. FCSP, flood control, construction, shore protection, example seawall and breakwater.
Thank you, Engineer JP. Now let's call on the technical working group to cover the bid data sheet of the contract.
For the minimum work experience requirements, the key personnel are the following. The required is 50% of ABC of each contract. For the key personnel, project manager, general experience is 5 years, relevant experience 3 years. For project engineer, general experience 5 years, relevant experience 3 years. For materials engineer, general experience 3 years, relevant experience 3 years. The remarks for project manager, project engineer, materials engineer: attach valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. Project engineers and materials engineers must be accredited by the DPWH. Attach accreditation. For safety and health officer, general experience is 5 years, relevant experience 3 years. For the remarks: safety officer with attached certificate of training issued by DOLE and valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. Certified first aider with attached certificate of training issued by Red Cross and valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. For foreman, general experience is 5 years, relevant experience 3 years. For remarks: attach valid and updated government issued IDs with 3 signatures. Additional requirements for contractors key personnel: number 1, the affidavit of commitment to work must include each personnel's tax identification number or TIN. Number 2, the list of contractors key personnel to be assigned to the contract must include their qualification data or curriculum vitae. Number 3, an affidavit stating that the pledged project engineer and materials engineers numbers of projects handled simultaneously does not exceed 10 contracts. Number 4, submission of professional tax receipt for applicable personnel. Number 5, firm's DOLE certificate of registration in compliance to Rule 1020 of the Labor Code of the Philippines. Number 6, implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors as per DEO 110 series of 2024.
For the minimum major equipment required for state contract ID, prospective bidders may view it on the bid data sheet clause 12.1 of each bidding documents posted in the DPWH and PhilJet's website. List of contractors' equipment pledged for the contract DPWH and Infrastructure 15 must be filled out completely and properly. Submitted group of ownership must specify and indicate the model, year, capacity, performance, size, plate number, motor number, body number, chassis number, serial number, engine serial number, specific location and condition for Department Order 58 series of 2012. The contractor is required to provide proofs of ownership and other supporting documents for the equipment owned, lease agreement for equipment to be leased, and or under purchase agreement. Must also submit certificate of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. Accreditation of asphalt and Portland cement concrete batching plants in the procurement of contracts for infrastructure works shall be imposed pursuant to DO number 253 series of 2003. Bidders are reminded that only concrete and asphalt mixes produced by duly accredited plants shall be used in DPWH projects. Accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to DO 241 series of 2024, guidelines of the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program for DPWH infrastructure projects. First aider with certificate of training issued by Red Cross in compliance to DOLE requirements for the approval of construction safety and health program, required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to DO 241 series of 2024, guidelines of the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program for DPWH infrastructure projects. The DPWH approved CSHP is a requirement for the processing and approval of the contracts agreement. Moreover, no claims of the contractor, advance payment, or first progress billing shall be processed and paid without the submission of DPWH approved construction safety and health program. Minimum materials testing equipment requirements for the project for the medium contractors per DO number 11 series of 2017 and DO 127 series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification and bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. 17.1 bids will valid until 20 calendar days from the date of opening of bids.
Thank you, Engineer Remoroso. We now turn over the discussion to the TWG members to discuss the documents to be submitted by the bidders and criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award.
For the technical checklist, for Class A documents, the legal documents, valid field registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Bidders should make sure that Annex A of field job certificate must reflect updated dates. And for technical documents, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any. Please take note that the list of the projects you are submitting shall match in data reflected on your contract registration certificate, contractor information in Civil Works application, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, and statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the roof and must be supported by the constructor performance evaluation system or CPES, with rating at least satisfactory for DPWH or government contracts, or an owner's certificate of final acceptance, or equivalent for private sector contracts, and Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license for ISO certified as per DEO 110 series of 2024, or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid, and original copy of bid security, if in the form of a surety bond. Submit also certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration, and project requirements, which shall include the following. Number 1, organizational chart for the contract, DPWH-INFR-13. Number 2, list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their qualification data. Number 3, list of contractors' major construction equipment units to be assigned to the contract, supported by certifications of availability, owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership, example, LTO official receipt, certificate of registration, cash or sales invoice, official receipt, contract of lease agreements, purchase agreements of equipment executed by the owner, lessor, vendor, made under oath. Number 4, list of contractors' minimum materials testing equipment units to be assigned to the contract, supported by certifications of availability, owned, lease, supported by proof of ownership, for example, cash or sales invoice, official receipt, contract of lease agreements, of equipment executed by the owner, lessor, and made under oath. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or NGPA-GPPB, latest, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder, and latest General Information Sheet or GIS, duly received by Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership, see attached form on bidding forms, and contractors construction safety and health program DPWH-INFR-49-2016, and if applicable, straight line diagram per DEO 246 years of 2024, annexes A-3 and B-5A to D, and accredited contractors or consultants project engineer as per DO 148 series of 2024 and DO 227 series of 2024, applicable for buildings and bridges, and certification of accredited asphalt and Portland cement concrete batching plants. For financial documents, the prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission, and the prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. For Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement for JBA in accordance with Republic Act number 4566 and its IR in case of the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into the abide by the provisions of the joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful.
For financial envelope, letter A, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Letter B, original of duly signed bid prices and a bill of quantities. Letter C, duly accomplished detailed estimate form including a sum rep sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. Letter D, cash flow by quarter. Reminder, all pages must be number paginated consecutively at the top hand right margin. Each page signed by the bidder below page number and the total number of which must be indicated the covering page and signed with the duly authorized representative. All sets of documents, financial and technical envelopes must be properly book bounded pursuant to DPWH DEO 90 series of 2002. Use checklist of the technical and financial envelopes here to attach in section 9 bidding forms and shall be included as a first page of the book bounding of each envelopes with ear tabbing label for each checklist.
For criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award. Bidder should have completed within 10 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 of the ITB. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act. The contract shall be awarded to the lowest calculated responsive bidder or LCRB who was determined as such during the post-qualification. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, cooperatives, and partnership or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 16. For the eligibility check, the BAC will determine the eligibility of the bidders based on the PhilJEP's registration on their legal aid documents, which should be maintained current and updated, including that of the Civil Works application, which focuses on the NFCC, work experience or single largest completed contract, similar to the contract project for bidding at hand. BAC will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and detailed bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids, as per IRR of RA 12009 under Section 61, the BAC will conduct a detailed bid evaluation of all the bids using a non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of the bid. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order Number 127 Series of 2018 and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process, considering that the concerned officials or employees, including the concerned BAC members, will be liable to the administrative penalties if this directive will not be followed. Then 10 calendar days upon receipt of the notice of award, the contractor must comply the documents needed in the notice of award for the issuance of contract agreement. In accordance with Section 52.6 of the RA 12009 IRR, the procuring entity can reassess a bidder's qualification at any stage of the procurement process if there are reasonable grounds to believe that a misrepresentation has been made by the said bidder or there has been a change in the bidder's capability to undertake the project from the time it submitted its eligibility requirements. If any false information or changes affecting eligibility are found, the bidder shall be disqualified from obtaining an award or implementing the contract, as the case may be, subject to the applicable rules under this IRR. The DPWH Camarines Sur 5th District Engineering Office, Camarines Sur reserves the right to reject any of all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders.
Additional reminders: three-strike policy in the procurement of contracts for infrastructure works, goods, and consulting services shall be imposed pursuant to DO number 35 series of 2008 as amended by DO 28 series of 2024. Bidders are reminded on different offenses and penalties provided for in the revised IRR of RA 9184 and on the provisions governing the imposition of administrative sanctions for contractors who attempt to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, except for valid reasons, pursuant to DO number 28 series of 2024. For the classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions: number 1, withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. Number 2, submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC. Number 3, submissions of patently insufficient bid. For the enforcement and penalties, if a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year, starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1 or first warning, which is counted as day 1 through day 365, and if these 3 offenses are of similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty: suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement services and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with the blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. For the schedule, a complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on May 21 to June 15, 2026 until 9 a.m. only from the address given below in the invitation to bid and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount stated also in the invitation to bid. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilGEPS and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee Secretariat through number 1, manual submission at the address indicated below, number 2, online or electronic submission through Camarines Sur 5 at dpwh.gov.ph, as indicated below on or before June 15, 2026 until 10 a.m. only. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be on June 15, 2026 at 10 a.m. at DPWH Camarines Sur 5th DEOs, Santa Teresita, Bao, Camarines Sur, and or live streaming via YouTube channel https://m.youtube.com/@dpwh.camsur5deo. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Camarines Sur 5th District Engineering Office, Santa Teresita, Bao, Camarines Sur,
and expect the bidding documents at the address given below in the invitation to bid from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. That will be all po.
Thank you, PWG. Is there any questions, clarifications, or comments? Hearing none, this private conference is adjourned. Thank you.